So today I'm gonna show you 5 interesting chess traps for black that you should definitely know. So let's move on to the first trap. After e4 e5 knight f3 knight c6, here he goes bishop c4. Then you just play knight to e4, giving away this pawn. Knight takes e5 seems like a natural response, threatening a fork on f7. But then you will play queen to g5, hitting this knight and this pawn. And here, capturing this pawn seems like a natural idea, hitting the queen and the rook. But then he will play queen takes g2 attacking his rook. So he will save his rook by playing rook f1. Now he will play queen takes e4 check. Here if he blocks with the queen then he will just take his queen. Therefore he will block with the bishop. But then you play knight to f3 and it's a checkmate because he cannot take with the bishop. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 e5 knight f3 knight f6 he takes. Then you play knight c6. And after he takes, here you recapture with the d pawn. Now this pawn is under attack, so he plays e5. But then you play knight to e4, centralizing the knight. He goes d3, attacking knight even further. But then you play bishop to c5, threatening a fork on f2. So he will capture the knight. And now you're not going to trade the queens. Instead you play bishop takes f2, sacrificing the bishop. And after he takes the bishop, he will take his queen and you're winning. But actually he will play king e2, still guarding his queen. But then you play bishop g4 check, and now he is forced to take the bishop, then he will take his queen and you're winning. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 c5, he goes c3, then you play d5, and after he takes you recapture with the queen. He goes knight f3, then you play knight f6, and after d4, you don't capture this pawn. Instead you play e6. If he takes, then he will take here, and after he takes, he will take with the bishop, then you are having the advantage. Therefore, instead of capturing this pawn, he will play bishop to d3, preparing to castle. But then you just play c4, hitting this bishop, and here it seems like he can play queen e4 check, and after you block with the bishop, he can take this pawn. But actually, we are not going to block with the bishop. Instead, we will play b5, hitting this queen and this bishop. And you can try one final trick with bishop takes pawn, and you can't take with the pawn because it is pinned to the king. But here you can play an in-between move by playing queen d4 check, and no matter what you do, now you can take the queen and you are winning. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 he goes c6, and after d4 he goes d5, he goes knight c3, then you just take, and after he takes, now you go knight f6. He takes, then you recapture, and after bishop c4 you play queen e7 check. Here if he blocks with the queen, then you will take the queen and continue the game. But here if he plays knight to e2, preparing to castle, then you just play queen to b4 check, forking the king and the bishop. And then you will just grab the bishop and you are up a piece and winning. Let's move on to the next trap. So after e4 e5, knight f3, knight f6, he takes, then you play knight c6. And after he takes, you just recapture with the d pawn. He goes e5, attacking this knight. So you go knight e4, and here he goes d4, grabbing the center. But then you play queen h4, threatening mate in 1. But then you play knight takes g3. If he takes with the h pawn, then you will just play queen takes rook and you are winning. And if he takes with the f pawn, then you will give this check and you will win the rook anyway and you are winning. So if this video was helpful, then don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming videos.